Hello again, folks, and welcome back to Let's Play Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. I'm your Dungeon Master Darius. Last we left off, we had ourselves a pretty gnarly time trying to defend the tavern, and we had actually gotten another level up, which is fantastic. However, I decided that I was going to look into how it was that I could make Arrent more accurate to what he was, at the least weapon-wise and whatnot, and also it turns out that trying to play this in a more role-playing fashion is not that great of an option. So, yeah, as much as I want to, you know, make him more into the cleric sort of a dude that he is and then into a Hell Knight, turns out that that might not be all that great of an option. So, instead, I have opted to instead seek out the person I was told in my streams pretty early on that if I done screw up, I can actually respec my characters at this individual. A tall, athletic man greets you. His hair is prematurely gray and shorn through close to his head in the military style. He is lean and well-groomed, and a monocle twinkles coldly in his eye. Bold set of his jaw and his large but agile frame attest that here is a man who is always ready to be on the move. Greetings, I'm Helor, Venture Captain of the Pathfinder Society. I'm the superior officer among Pathfinders in the region of Mindev. However, the Society is running almost no operations here right now. Besides me, there's almost no Pathfinders here. Actually, I'm only stuck here because of an old feud with the demon worshipper known as the Spinner of Nightmares. I had to work alone without the support of the Society. But I've made a lot of acquaintances among the local mercenaries and daring fighters. If you need any good fighters for an honest cause, talk to me. Tell me about your confrontation with the Spinner of Nightmares. It all began with the task of the Pathfinder Society. I arrived in Nerosian with my team to investigate the sudden death of a famous crusader, Baron Falren. We soon focused in on a small hospital of the wealthy where Falrun was being treated shortly before his death. Turned out that a gang of Baphomet's cultists, calling themselves the Labyrinth of Mind, had gotten a foothold at the hospital. They were obsessed with twisting the minds of their victims, and targeted fragile people too weak to resist. The hospital was filled with perfect victims, isolated for weeks from the outside world, completely helpless, and when they returned they were different, almost normal. But the moment they heard a certain phrase, something dark awoke in their minds, and they transformed into the servants of Baphomet, ready to lie, betray, and even kill. The Labyrinth of Mind was preparing to infiltrate all the elite circles in Mindev, but Baron Falren stopped them. He was too loyal to his oath and too resistant to their spells. He fought for his freedom until the strain broke his heart. We opened and cleaned the city of Baphomet pits of vipers. Their den was a cradle of sin and filth. They had cast spells on each other, and their loathsome fantasies stepped real from the minds into the world. They dreamt of horrible things, forbidden things, and they fought like mad. We burned the place to the ground and slaughtered everyone we could, but the leaders of the cult were able to flee, and they were set upon revenge. They abducted my daughter Lowry, who served under my command in the Pathfinder Society. They left me a note full of tart insults, mockery, and sneers. From that note, I learned the name of my enemy, the Spinner of Nightmares. A few months later, I confirmed that she was the leader of the Labyrinth of Mind. My hunt had begun. I would get Lowry back at any cost. Grits his teeth with bulldog determination. This is all fine and dandy and might actually lead to a side quest. I don't know, but more importantly, my companions and I need good training. I will get a great mentor from Absalon. For the first few times, he'll train your fighters free of charge. And this is how we get to retrain our characters. I think I'm only able to retrain these three at the moment because they like me, but we're going to retrain myself. And apparently this is the time whenever you would want to, like, change your portrait, change your, you know, stuff and things. So what I was before was a cleric of a crusader fashion. Now, crusaders are pretty... I like this in concept. It's more of a martially based cleric. However, it's not that great. when I think of it in the long run. Basically, it's going to grant me a bonus feat every 5 levels for a reduction of my domains selected. It does grant me some additional proficiencies, but there is another class, a better class for my needs, simply called the Warpriest. They apply both cold weapons and a vast array of sacred spells. They're effective in both offense and defense, can heal and empower enemies, and have the ability to channel energy to heal or damage multiple targets. So they get several neat abilities. One is Fervor. They can use a spell to make themselves stronger than attack with an enemy on the same round. It's a neat ability. Blessings, which are based on your deity. And Sacred Weapons, which are basically just inherent ability to just go, this is magic now. Which is, fantastic. Verb, even. I'm still going to be an asymmer. I'm still going to be a dude. And I'm still going to be an Angelkin, because that's mostly because it raises both my strength and charisma. Charisma's not as important, even though I do get the capability of, you know, channel energy through this slowly but surely. Matter of fact, I think I get it. Yeah, I get it here, 4th level. Channel energy. Which is not too shabby. I'll basically still have it. It'll do less of an effect, I think. But again, since I'm still... Oh no. Warpriest Wisdom modifier. Hey? I need to look more thoroughly at my stuff. But anyways, they also have the ability to spontaneously cast one spell into either Inflict or Cure. In my case, it's going to be Inflict still, because evil. And they do still get spells. In the case of the Warpriests, I believe they're still Wisdom-based. Freaking better be at this point. Now, the thing with the Warpriest, though, is that they will get less spells overall. I think they get only up to 6th level spells, which honestly, I am more than fine with. The less spells I have to deal with, the better. I did still have a little bit of an when it came to what I had for a background. I think I was trying to find one that granted me bonuses with a glaive. But alas, none of them are really doing that for me. Which is sadness. Sadness incarnate. So instead, I decided that I was going to take up, I believe, the Oblate, the Martial Discipline. Not really because I needed the improved unarmed strike, but simply because added mobility and lore religion to the list of feat skill classes. This makes it so as it will grant +1 to my lore. So, yes. Now, here's where I was really torn asunder when it came to this, too. Now that I realized I don't need friggin' this with channel energy for Warpriests. Right? Or is it lying to me? Well, regardless. I'm not going to worry too much about it. It's going to be one of those things I just... if I need to do a lot of damage. But I was going to set my strength 17, dexterity to 10, 15 con, 2 int, and 16 wisdom. I do have 4 points remaining from reducing the charisma, as I don't really think I need it. Now I can increase my con by another 1, or I can get some additional skill points for intelligence, or I can up this to a nice hearty 18. Honestly, this additional, like, I was originally just going to keep my charisma into a 12, but nah. I want the one additional skill point because I do still intend to go Hell Knight, which means that I'm still going to need Knowledge Arcana as well as Knowledge... No, not Knowledge, Persuasion. That was it. Speaking of, one Arcana, lore into religion, and then I suppose what I would really want would be mobility. Or athletics, because we really don't have someone that's any good with athletics. Yeah, +8. One moment, folks. Sorry about that. Let's see. So, not said. Oh, wait. No, that was max rank value. So feats. I do have here feats that I wanted to take. I'm still not completely sure. Because we selected Warpriest, we actually automatically get a weapon focus of our choice. But we don't need a weapon focus with a glaive. But I was thinking that I was going to take power attack, because since we're going to be wielding a glaive, power attack is ridiculous. You can choose to take a -1 penalty on all attack rolls and combat maneuver checks to gain +1 on all melee damage roll. Damage is increased by half again if you are making a attack with a two-handed weapon, a one-handed weapon you're using two hands, or a primary natural weapon that adds 1.5 strength, blah blah blah. And then when you reach +4 base attack bonus, and every 4 points thereafter, you can increase the penalty to increase the damage further. So basically, with a two-handed weapon, it is a +3 damage instead of +2 damage. They honestly probably could have just said that instead of increase the damage by half. But I digress. That's going to open up some options for us too. I'm going to stick with Zong Kuthon, the Midnight Lord, the Prince of Pain, and all that fun stuff. Gonna take Spontaneous Inflict because we have to, because we're not going to be good characters. And I'm going to take up the Glaive, which will be nice. Now, the great thing about weapon focus, besides the fact that it allows you to hit more often, is that it does open up some pretty cool stuff. You can do weapon specialization, which does more damage, weapon focus mythic, which doubles the bonus of attack rolls once we get to mythic levels. Shatter defenses, which makes it so as a creature becomes flat-footed if they are frightened, panicked, or shaken. Just some pretty good shit. And here was the other tough part, blessings. So, blessings for the Warpriest are based basically solely on your alignment and your deity. So, I'm lawful evil, so I'm able to take law and evil. I'm probably going to. Destruction adds a damage bonus with melee weapons. Oh, weapon damage bonus equal to half, yeah. For 1 minute, which is neat. Death makes it so as I can increase my persuasion checks to intimidate, as well as a +2 profane bonus on saving throws against disease, mind-affecting abilities, paralysis, poison, and stun, which, alright. And they do have additional 10th level effects, like this will allow me to make a melee touch attack that inflicts a negative level, or put it through my weapon. Destruction makes it so as I can touch ally or myself and have an increased critical hit and confirmation roll and 50% chance to treat any critical hit against you. 1 minute ally, yeah, and it has a 50% chance to negate a crit into a normal hit. Darkness, which makes it so as you can enshroud yourself for concealment, much like Blur. And Shroud of Darkness, which must make a saving throw or be blinded for a minute. It's actually pretty cool too. But I wanted to go primarily with Law and Evil. We get 2 blessings. We'll start with Law. For 1 minute, I can touch a creature, and against chaotic creatures, they will do more damage. And the weapon is treated as lawful for the purposes of overcoming the damage reduction. In addition, at 10th level, you can bolster your allies' defense against chaos. For 1 round, all allies within 30 feet Gain +4 sacred bonus on AC and saving throws. Yes. And then the other one, I'm going to take evil. Because evil allows me to do an additional d6 damage against good creatures. As well, 10th level, I'm able to summon monster 4 for the duration of a minute. But it only allows me to summon demons. So, you know, that's fun. Gonna stick with lawful evil because that's the flavor of Arrent. I'm gonna try to get as close as what I had before. Don't fully remember all the details of his shite. All I know is that it was pale. What the hell was my lips color? I love my lip. The first thing that came to mind, and I kind of hate it. Change my body type. Let's make him a... no, that's too stocky. Oh, right. I selected 2 because it didn't make his lips like silver. Yeah. Pretty plain, pretty simple, but I like it.
I'm always ready. This will hurt. I didn't even break a sweat.
Was it pragmatic? I'm pretty sure it was
Someone else
pragmatic.
would make better use.
Everyone counts on me. Enemy near. A solid plan.
Reserve.
Let us bide our time.
Reserves doesn't sound reserved so much as it sounds pompous.
Calm down. Not dead yet.
Pragmatic. Arrent. Old. Hurt head. Not heated. Hurt. And then arbitrary.
I'll go ahead.
That. And yeah. One of the reasons why I really wanted to swap out to Warpriest as well is not just because, you know, I do seldom do the spell casting and whatnot, but seeing as he is going to be more about being melee combat and whatnot now, he's going to be more prominent. Also, base attack bonus is going to go up once every level, I believe. It's spells. Melee attacks. Did I remember this wrong? I might have remembered this wrong. Warpriest. How the hell did I get this wrong? I thought that Warpriests were basically kind of paladinese. How did I get that wrong? Hold the phone. So naturally I get things wrong because I am bad at reading comprehension. I think what had happened is that I was reading the Warpriest's spells and somehow thought that that was the thing. Regardless, I do kind of like the Warpriest over being a cleric in this particular case. Less worry about spells, but still able to whack a person or two. We'll put in that Arcana, Religion. Why did I only get the one bonus? The one-time bonus to athletics. My skill points. Should I not be getting 2? Total value 2. Funky, but okay. Negative energy fervor. Which now we are 2nd level. We can do fervors. We can use this ability to quickly cast spells that aid you in struggles. Can use this 1/2 my level times per day plus wisdom modifier. By expending my use, I can touch the creature to heal it, or in my case, harm it. Alternatively, can use the ability to harm undead, or because negative energy, heal undead. Not that I'm going to be doing that. But yeah, I don't think I can fervor myself, because that would be a terrible idea. But it is not affected by spell resistance, so if I just need a quick little pap of damage, there we go. Now we're going to retrain for level 3. Level 3, level 3. See, there's a 3 points. I'm confused how the hell this works anymore. Because I should be gaining 2 plus 1 because of my intelligence. Alright, I should have been placing it into persuasion. So persuade I shall put it into. Because I'm totally a smart guy. I had already done weapon focus with the glaive, already did power attack, and I think what I was going to do next was I was going to do toughness. Because I like having HP, and basically throughout my entire adventures, toughness is going to give me a total of 20 more hit points. So dying is less of an option. But we also got bonus feats from being a heckin' Warpriest. Yes. Let's see, we could choose Dazzling Display. I'm kind of eyeing the Endurance feat though. Because that's more athletics, which I can use and be all biffy. And Fortitude save against fatigue and exhaustion, which would also be grand. I'm not currently wielding light or medium armor, I think. So I think it should be fine. I'm not going to be using shields. I don't think... I could use Sunder Armor. Attempt to dislodge an armor worn by your opponent. If your combat maneuver is successful, loses it for 1 round. Which would open up quite a bit of hurt for enemies. Especially heavily armored ones. I was kind of eyeing combat expertise. But I think I'm going to go with Cleave. As a standard action, you can make a single attack at your full base attack bonus against a foe within reach. If you hit, you deal damage normally. You can make an additional attack against a foe that is adjacent to the next and also within reach. And seeing as I have a glaive, everything's in reach. This would allow me to also get Great Cleave, Cleaving Finish, which if I make an attack and drop a creature to 0, I can attack another creature within reach. And improved Cleaving Finish. Options, man. Options. Honestly, I think I'm going to stick with Endurance. Because getting that additional chance of athletic stuff is nice. I think. And yeah, I think my confusion was that I was testing this out. Looked at my base attack bonus at level 3 or so and was like, oh, that's not that shabby. It's not that shabby, it's just daunting that I keep on forgetting and messing that up. So level 4, my base attack bonus is still going to be a plus D. Or should it be increasing? Yeah, it increases to 3. So by the time I'm 7th level, I will be able to cast or be able to multi-class into Hell Knight. But here is the cool part. I get to increase an ability score of my choice. I believe I'm going to go with Wisdom. Simply because that is going to increase my spells, capabilities, and whatnot. This is a pretty nice spread. I really like it. And then only 4 in Persuasion right now, so we'll pump the other one into the Religion, seeing as I'm basically the only person that can do the religioning. And now at 4th level we get Channel Negative Energy. Let's see, damage living, heal living. For every 3, possesses above 2nd. I think my Channel Negative Energy should still be able to be cast like several times per day. Plus for every 3 levels he has above 2nd. Yeah. So, yeah, not much has changed. I think only the damage has, which I'm fine with. Yep, select that. Thank you. Now you'll see I have a bevy of new abilities, and I can't wait to use them all. And that's that. So, we are now Arrent the Warpriest, equipped with our glaive, that is going to do so much more damage. It is +1, which I don't think counts for cold iron. My AC is going to be shite for the time being, but it's still pretty good. And well, I still see it as pretty good. And his personal encumbrance, now that his strength is an 18, is not going to be that terrible, or as terrible as it used to be. But yeah, we now have a reach weapon that does stupid good damage, especially if we crit. Yes, this is pretty much what I've been waiting for. Just waiting to be able to wield this thing, and I'm like, oh, how the hell should I have been able to wield this thing? And I'm an idiot. Forgot that Warpriests were a thing. Nah. Anywho, we also have the rest of the party to level up, which, seeing as I'm not going to be re-specing all these guys, is going to be a little bit easier. For Camilla, not that I care too much. Spirit Hunter, yes, is fine. Put that one in Dexterity. I guess Thievery. Lore of Nature. Oh boy. See, I love the idea of the hexes. I just don't like her as a character. Uses Shaman. Cure Light Wound spell. Really? Cure Light? Alright. That's not a bad one though. Makes it so as you can just straight up bam. Or she can increase her own AC by 1, but we'll stick with the healing. And that's pretty much it. I'll go over what it is I get in whole as Arrent. Wizard, Scroll Savant. With 1, I suppose we'll put it into your Dexterity for now. I would put it into her Intelligence. But if she is going to be partnering around with me, I suppose I need her to have some sort of a Dex score. Knowledge Lore. Hana. No religion for you. Let's go ahead and give you use magic device and... well, I'm not going to have Camellia around a lot, so... or nature. 2 new spells we can grant her. She is an illusionist, so we'll go ahead and give her invisibility. I do think that she needs some other offensive capabilities. Let's see. She's not yet able to do 3rd level spells, naturally. See, the thing is too, is that in Pathfinder, your ranged attacks are still dictated by your dexterity. So if you do like Acid Arrow, you still need to have a pretty good dexterity to hit stuff. All creatures within... see, this one is a saving throw. Oh no. Red Hole, direct hit, 2d6. Every creature within 5 feet must make a reflex save for half. Additional 1d6 fire damage for the next 1d3 rounds. Jeez. It's like a mini fireball. I like it. But I think we're going to go with it. Illusion. Minimal aspect. Oh, this one grants a different bonus based on what it is that you like. Interaction, personal. 1 enemy creature within long range. Acid Splash is stupid good. Yeah, let's take Acid Splash. Because if Acid Splash hits, that's a D4 damage, or 2d4 points of acid damage with no splash. But for the next, let's see, up to 6 rounds for every 3 caster levels. So, 1 round right now. That's an additional 1 die 4 unless they spend a turn neutralizing. I like it anyways. And we can always give her more spell scrolls if need be. But then we have Ember. We're going to increase her charisma That's going to increase the spell save DC of all of her witchy stuff. Should actually give her... I think that should also give her some additional... It is witch, right? Bard, Paladin, Blood Ragers, Golds, Sorcerers? 1 second. I love it when a game is making me figure out shit again. Makes me realize, yes, that's right. I don't remember anything about this system. Haha! Let's see. Her hex is based on charisma, or intelligence, but the stigmatize which uses charisma instead of intelligence. Okay. So I think logistically, doing the charisma would be better. Logistically. Let's see. We'll do persuasion, because God. Plus 14 persuasion. Use magic device. Yes, knowledge arcana? Yeah, we'll do knowledge arcana, just in case Nino is predisposed with death, I guess. So, hex. What hex would you suggest to me, game? Such a creature is suppressed and protected from negative conditions. Oh, so this one would remove, more or less, a negative condition for a time. Number of minutes equal to the witch's level. Cackle. I mean, cackle as a move action. Any creature that is within 30 feet that is under the effects of an evil eye, hex, fortune, protective, or misfortune hex caused by the witch has a duration of that hex extended for 1 round. That's pretty cool. Evil eye is just good. Evil eye is just really good. You can just go, hey, -2 AC. Bam. Done. It does require a spell save DC to do, but Let's see. Call up on the luck to re-roll any ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. Duration of this hex is extended. Okay, so for 1 round you can just go, hey, make sure you hit that thing. Honestly, though, I'm kind of tempted to go with Ice Plant. Because that's just neat. Oh, those are the major hexes. We don't get into those just yet. That's until the ward has... Ooh, ward's pretty good. See, this is what happens when I like a character. It takes me forever to figure out what it is I'm gonna have them do. Access Cure Light Wounds. I'm gonna go with Evil Eye. And now her spells. She has been very fiery, deathy sort of a thing going on, if you haven't noticed, with the burning hands. So I might go Molten Orb. Yes. Yeah, Molten Orb is just really damn good. 2 die 6, direct hit. Every creature within the... I think by the reading of this, the first creature gets hit no matter what the hell happens. And then everyone else gets the reflex save or takes fire damage and then is caught on fire. Which, yes, please. Now we get to work on Woljeff, the Eldritch Scoundrel. Oh. 4th level, rogue can deal sneak attack damage to a foe. Can also debilitate the target of her attack, causing it to take a -1 penalty for 1 round. And you get to choose what happens. -2 to AC with Bewildered. With an additional -2 against all attacks made by the rogue. So -2 again from everyone else, but -4 from Woljeff. That's pretty freaking cool. Reduce their speed, reduce their attack rolls, make them hampered. Yeah. Woljeff. You scoundrel. Let's go ahead and pump more into your dexterity. That's going to be pretty much your thing. Sadly, I don't really... Well, no. Avoiding random encounters in global map is actually pretty nice. But otherwise, there really isn't much purpose to stealth, which is saddening. Like, my buddy Link, he had gotten this game through Humble Bundle, and one of the first things that he decided to do was he really wanted to make a pickpockety sort of character, you know, someone going around and stealing shit. Game doesn't really allow for that, which is a crime considering how much this game does do for the Pathfinder system. Alright, 2 spell. Now, he does have Snowball, Magic Missile, all these fun stuff. But I do kind of see him more of a debilitating character. Someone who's able to go around and go, haha. And then suddenly, oh no, there's a pit in the middle of everything. Or, aha, I am invisible. Actually, invisibility would be stupid good for him. Take invisibility, sir. Cat's Grace would also be stupid good for him, because he is currently wielding a bracelet of armor, so he is not restricted in how much AC he gets from his dexterity. So the higher his dexterity, the stupider it gets. There's Frigid Touch, melee touch attack. Here's the stupid thing I always did not enjoy though. Melee touch attack means it will be based off of your strength. Unless you got something about it. To hit with a ranged attack, it is dexterity with strength. Yeah. Pernicious poison. -4 on all saves against poison. Attempts to cure the poison target is -4. Scorching Ray is always fun. Every 4 levels beyond 3rd. Stone Call. Every creature within an area taking 2d6 damage. Webbing someone makes it so as they're stickied, grappled, sticky fibers. They get to make a reflex save though. Honestly, stunning someone or dazing someone is pretty good. The daze effect makes it so as they cannot take an action. They are still able to do stuff, but they're not able to take an action. So they can still, like, defend themselves, I think. Don't fierce. Always fun. Balls. There's just so many spells, man. And some of them, a lot of them are just spell resistance and whatnot, which is going to be terrible when facing off against demons. You know what? Let's take blindness. Necromancy. It is permanent. Permanent. Which I suppose when we're, you know, when we're basically trying to kill everything we see, permanent's not that long. But I digress. Alright, we got 2 remainders. Windowag. Who, let's see, what do you get as a 2nd level undergrounder? We get Rogue Talent, which would be cool. And Chemical Weapons, which allows you to throw anything. However, the problem with this is that really doesn't... I could keep on pumping into her Rogue Underground Chemist thing so that she can get more Rogue Talents. Because Rogue Talents are essentially kind of like bonus feats, but specifically for rogues. We would want her to get more dexterity. Increase your trickery, because screw Camellia. Dang it. Fine. Increase your perception for sure. Anything charisma based is not going to be her thing. Yeah, increase your trickery some more. More trickery. I suppose lore nature. Because besides Ninio... Right, so here's rogue talents. Again, they're basically kind of like the rogue's version of bonus feats. Let's see. So she can cause focusing attacks, confuse, shaken, and sickened, which cause confusion. Shaken and sickened. Unfortunately, all of these are with a melee attack that deals sneak attack damage. That is not her shtick. Her shtick is shooting things from afar. Combat trick, which are actually combat feats. So she could take rapid shot. That's tempting. That is stupid tempting. Jump up. Does not provoke attacks of opportunity when standing up. Add lore nature to her skills. I think she's already got. Immunity to difficult terrain. Underhanded trick. Gains the dirty trick ability. Basically, she can make such a thing, and if successful, target takes a penalty. Limited to either being blinded, entangled, or sickened. Can I do that at range? That's my thing right now. It's like, can I do that at range? Because if I could do it at range, that'd be sick. Actually, no. No. I gotta take a level of fighter. Armor training. Just too good sometimes. Whenever he is wearing armor, he reduces the armor check penalty by 1 and increases maximum dexterity bonus allowed by 1. Every 4 levels thereafter, 7th, 11th, 15th, these bonuses increases by +1 to a maximum -4 reduction, and +4 with the maximum dexterity bonus. He can also move his normal speed when wearing medium armor, which I believe that's what she's capable of. So, let's see, make sure that she's at least on par with Camellia on some things. Deception is good. Trickery is good. And that's pretty much going to be her thing. Her base attack bonus is also going to go up, which is what we want because her being able to hit stuff is good. Even though she doesn't get much in the way of being a fighter, being able to be hit less would be great. And eventually just makes it so as any armor check penalty gets reduced altogether. That said, probably still want her to still, you know, use some stuff that's not based on... what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I'll probably see if I can't find stuff to equip them with later. Till then, we got Sela, who is going to be a Paladin. He'll get an additional use of Smiting Evil. He can actually start casting Paladin spells as well. Increasing her base attack bonus comes a 4, or it should, yes. And that's mostly it. And of course, her ability to... Right, full plate. Full plate makes it so as AC is kind of a whatever. Let's see. So with Paladins, it's always a little funky. Because we want to be able to do stuff with Smite, which I think... Smite is going to be charisma based, as is Lay on Hands, so we probably just want to do that anyways. Smite is charisma based. I think the spells are silly enough still wisdom based. That's kind of one of my things I always kind of still had to when it came to Pathfinder. Ah yes, it is so lovely to have myself a big old bonus. He's -4. Oh, right, because she's got the banded mail and the heavy shield. Ugh, never mind. Skills-wise, I don't think she can provide much. I won't lie. Which is kind of sucky. Let's go ahead and give her perception and mobility. Yeah, -3 makes it so as at the least opportunity attacks aren't as likely to hit her, right? Yes. And she's got a bevy of new spells that she can cast, although I'm pretty sure she can only use like 1 per day. Yep. 1 per day. Probably completely ill-used their level ups, but regardless. So, Arrent, go over some of his new spanking abilities. He still has the ability to cast spells, which is always fantastic. But some of these are just a little bit meh when it comes to the War Mage. Because as a War Mage, you don't really need magic weapon unless you want to cast on someone else. Remove fear, remove sickening. Shield of Faith is good though. Oh, already prepared Shield of Faith. Why not? Take Cure Light Wounds. Arrow of Lure. 2 caster levels? Nah. We'll take a Bone Shaker and a Cure Moderate. And can't change these. But as for what he can do new, he has some pretty nifty abilities. Most specifically, Sacred Weapon. Gains the ability to enhance one of his sacred weapons. +1 enhancement bonus for every 4 levels beyond. Then increases the enhancement bonus by another +1. If it is more than 1 sacred weapon, he can enhance another on the following round by using another swift action. See, the thing is too with a sacred weapon is that it is constant. Bonuses stack with existing bonuses you might have. So if you have a +1 weapon, you can put an ability on it. There's the equivalency of a +1 ability. Yes. And that's pretty much his biggest thing right now, is that he can basically go, hey, now my weapon is keen, or hey, now it does shock damage. And I'm pretty sure I can put the other ones in there too, but don't know where that sidebar came from, honestly. I can put shock, I can put flaming, I can put frost. Honestly, I'm pretty keen on keeping keen, because that's essentially a 10% chance to critical with this thing, which, if you've seen, sacred weapon. I don't know exactly how it's activated in this, but we'll keep keen on there for now. It is a swift action to shift it. The Angels, the Unholy Strike. Yes. Okay. Well, I've spent a good majority of this particular episode just doing nothing but leveling up, so why don't we talk to some individuals instead? Like Ember. The elf in front of you is young, still adolescent by the standards of her long-lived folk. A childish, carefree smile plays on her face, and his wondering eyes linger on you for just a moment before darting off again into the distance. Terrible scars cover her body. A few of her fingers are missing. A crow sits on her shoulder, observing you with a clever black eyes. You're always so cheerful. How do you manage to remain so hopeful when you're surrounded by such horror? Hope? She tilts her head and continues with a smile. No, hope is a lie. What should we hope for? This world is in the hands of demons. The gods can't help, or they don't want to, or they forgot about us altogether. The people know they're about to be eaten by demons, but still they quarrel with each other and fight and steal. There's no hope, only us. We'll have to win without hope. It will be hard. The entire abyss is against us. We can only win by some miracle, which means we'll have to make one happen. What other choice do we have? We'll work a miracle and win, because we have to. The elf smiles broadly and nods to herself. Tell me about yourself. Well, they call me Ember. I used to live in the River City and now I walk with you. That's my story. But why do they call you Ember? I've had many names. When I was little, Mom and Dad called me Dove or Cricket or Kitten. Dad called me his ray of sunshine. When my mom was cross, she called me by a long name, grown-up one. Can't remember it, no matter how hard I try. Then when I came to live in the River City, the good people called me different funny names, like Ember or Torch or Smoky. I don't know why. They called me Bird Brain because I have a crow. Called me Lucky 7 because of my fingers. She raises her hands. The middle finger on her right hand and the smaller finger on her left are missing. They sometimes called me Grilled Meat and said I was stupid, but I didn't feel hurt. I mean, they're right. I really am silly. They didn't mean to hurt me. Pretty sure that's not the case, Ember. I like Ember. It's a good word. Embers are like people. On the outside, they're gray and cold like stone, but they're warm inside. You can blow on them and they'll start a fire to help you survive a cold night. That's wonderful, isn't it? Ember it is. Where are you from? Far away, from the flower country. He gestures vaguely off into the distance. So beautiful there. Everywhere there's flowers blooming, golden towers and waterfalls. Everyone is like me with pointy ears. There's no round-eared people, no short ones or horned ones. We lived together, me and my mom and dad. Mom and Dad argued a lot. Dad used to say that all the good people should go on the crusade and fight the demons. Mom said he was silly because it was so far away and none of our business, that he shouldn't abandon his child. She meant me. But he didn't abandon me. He took me along. He said I was born the same year that the hole to the demon world opened. He said it was a sign that I would be one of the heroes who close it. Of course I'm not a hero, but I'm here anyways, helping as much as I can. That's kinda messed up. Dad's messed up. Where'd you get your scars? Happened by accident. My dad and I came sailing down the river, joined the crusade. Dad said that all the good people were going to the whirlwind to heal it. He said that the crusaders were the best people in the world, and together we were going to win. But when we arrived at the river cities, the crusaders got everything mixed up. They thought my dad and I were bad and decided to burn us at the stake. Dad died and I cried so loudly that one good night realized it was all a big mistake. He started yelling at the other crusaders, even the one in charge, and then walked right into the fire and got me out. The others wanted to stop him, but he took out his sword and scared them away. The kind knight took me to a healer. I later learned that while the knight was pulling me from the flames, he himself was burned so badly that he died not long after. But I'm still alive. Few fingers missing and my skin is funny. I lived in the River City ever since. I never had my own house, but I had many friends. And then the demons came and I met you and know what happened, and you know what happened after that. That lynch mob called themselves crusaders? For shame. People always call themselves pretty words, as if calling oneself a paladin or a commander is enough to stop you from being a poor, frightened sinner. He shrugs and smiles. But there was one true knight there, and the others came to their senses at last. You'll worship any deity? Shakes her head with an unwavering smile. God taught me to pray to Iomade. He said she was a kind goddess and he called people to crusade against evil. The knights who burned my dad and me worshipped her too. They even lit the fire with a prayer to her, and she did nothing to help us. But then one kind knight, alone without any gods, changed his mind and saved me. I think the gods are the same as us. They don't understand anything and they're scared of everything. So they hurt themselves and the rest of us. People worship the gods only because they're afraid of being responsible for themselves. The gods listen to the praise, and they become smug and arrogant and begin to believe that they're better than us. But they're no better. They're silly sinners just like the rest of us. Sometimes I pray to the gods. Different ones. The good ones, the bad ones. I ask them to stop. Stop fighting and hurting each other. I don't know if they ever hear me, but if they do, the knight who wanted to burn me, he was able to change his mind and do a good deed. If he can change, maybe Baphomet can too. How did you survive the streets? He shrugs. There are so many good people in the River City. When I sang for them in the street, they often give me coin or bread or sometimes even clothes. I shared everything with the other homeless, and they showed me where it's safe to sleep, where I could get out of the rain and cold, where I could find discarded things. When the demons destroyed the River City, I looked for my friends, but I found no one. They probably all died. The homeless have no supplies or weapons or basements to hide in, and the knights won't protect them either. Knights are like gods, so self-important. They're saving the world after all. What do they care about the homeless? Still smiling, the girl shrugs. Where do your magical powers come from? These tricks? I have them from my grandma. She used to be my father's grandma, and before that his father's. I've never seen her myself, but she's very kind and clever and kind. When I lived on the streets, sometimes she left food for me or a blanket in the winter. Sometimes I feel her stroking my hair as I fell asleep, but if I open my eyes, there's no one near. She also sent me soot. She scratches the crow's beak and the bird grumbles happily in response. She tells Soot how to do different tricks, and Soot teaches me. Whew. It appears that Ember doesn't know who exactly gives her these powers, but you can guess from her words her patron is Andoletta, powerful Archon, one of the Imperial Lords, also known as Grandmother Crow. I like having a high religion check sometimes. I think we're good. Keyword sometimes. I'm not sure if it's a good thing that I know that now. Damn it, that's gonna have to be something I look up off screen. Oh man. Sir, do you have any new equipment? Any new weapons? Ooh, Dwarven Warpriest. You know, it is kind of a weirdness that I have played this as long as I have, and the only people that I have seen so far that are in fact, I'm probably just going to sell this, knowing I wield a heavy flail. And the only people I've had are bleh, words, things, stuff. I have not had any persons that were dwarven in nature joining the party. I think I'm set. Well, that's non-magical scale mail. Ooh, I really want to put this onto my character. I keep on forgetting about that. Oh no. All save throws and nah. Tell the falchion. Heavy mace can go away. I might keep the scythe. I don't know what I'm doing with most of these, I won't lie. Warhammer, punching daggers. Ugh, so much things. I got anything for you? Yours 7? 7 with a +1. Still better than a 6 with a +3. I could buy her the half plate, but then that's just a flat 8 as opposed to any dexterity bonus. The reason why I worry about the dexterity bonus is that if you're flat-footed, you lose your dexterity bonus to your AC, which is bad. We do not want that to happen. But I suppose that if you're flat-footed, I don't know. Kind of wavering back and forth on what I could and couldn't do. I'm just going to quickly check the blacksmith. What he has to sell. If anything. You know, Smasher and Smasher and Smasher. I could give... Oh no. I just looked at the price of that. I was like, man, I could really give this to like Ember or someone to get the additional bonus, and then I'm like, oh, wait. That's a little bit more than 3 times what I currently have on my person. That's kind of the downside about magic items in Pathfinder sometimes. It's just... it's hard. Deceiving facade. Armor of vigilance. +1 another armor. +4 against sneak attacks. That's not terrible. But I think overall, no one's got anything. I could repurchase the armor braces of armor, but they're armor +1, which is not that hard, relatively speaking, to come by. Alright, but I think I'm going to run back inside, have myself a rest, then save, then call an episode. Actually, I should probably hit quick save before I save, before I have a rest, in case the game's like, oh, BT dubs, here's another freaking invasion. I know that they're not going to throw an invasion at me, but still.
You lived on the streets and you never once stole nothing? Like, nothing? Nothing? Not even an apple? Get out of here!
But it's the truth. Why would I steal when kind people are so willing to share what they have?
Man, that's actually a pretty interesting character interaction. Alright. 9 hours of slit. Like an hour-long episode of doing a little more than leveling up. I'm gonna go ahead and save and call an episode. Sorry this ended up being one of those episodes where I did nothing but level up, but if I didn't level up, I was going to go a little bit crazy. I could have just done a quick and dirty explanation, but I am glad that I did find the the relearner person, because yeah, Arrent is more closely related to how I originally imagined him. Even though I probably could have found a halberd. No. Taking the glaives. Thank you everyone so very much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying this series as much as I'm enjoying playing it. As always, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Take care. Cheers.